Hi, world. Hi. You say subscribe?
Good.
Yeah, subscribe. He said subscribe.
Posing children in a family photo shoot can be so difficult. In fact, a lot of professional photographers won't even shoot children because they feel like they're too difficult to pose. Don't worry, Stacey here, and in today's video, I'm going to take you on an awesome photo shoot in beautiful Boulder, Colorado with 6-year-old fraternal twin boys and their adorable little 4-year-old sister. And I'm going to show you how I pose children to get them safe, settled, and happy so that you can create beautiful images like these. And I do the entire photo shoot with my 85mm Nikon lens to show you guys, if you're starting out as beginning family photographers, that you do not need expensive cameras and a lot of lenses to make it big as a family photographer. You just need patience, a bunch of skills, and these 5 posing tips I'm going to give you right now. So let's get started. So while Mom wanted me to make sure to get pictures for a holiday card, she also told me that she wanted to highlight the differences between the twins and not just get all pictures that are identical. So as a photographer, it might be tempting to take photos for your own portfolio or for social media, and you can take 1 or 2, but remember that you're shooting for Mom. Mom is the one that's going to be ordering in the end, so you want to make her happy. And Mom sees her twins as individual children, which they are, so shoot them that way. And believe me, these boys were so different. The first twin was quiet and mellow and so sweet, and the second twin was bursting with energy and life and happiness, and he just brought so much great energy to the photo shoot. So if it's a smaller family or a family with older children or a little baby, I don't mind switching the lenses in and out a lot, but if I have a group of children that are this close together in age, I like to stick with one lens throughout the entire photo shoot, maybe switch it one time. I think I switched to my 35mm just for one picture in this entire photo shoot. And I choose my 85mm lens because it gives you a consistent portrait look. So the only problem with the 85mm is that I can't zoom in and out because it's a prime lens. So it's a fixed focal length. So instead of having a lens zoom in and out, I have to physically run back and forth. Now a lot of photographers would have a problem with that because you kind of look ridiculous, but children love it. So use it to your advantage. You can see here that the children are just totally cracking up. I'm pretending I'm a frog and I'm hopping back and forth, and they love it. And look at the photo I got. It's incredible, and it was worth looking a little bit ridiculous. So if I want a wider shot, I just hop back. So if you're using just a prime lens, don't worry, just run back and forth and use that because children love it. And children this age are notoriously hard to pose. So let's get started. Posing tip number 1, bribe them. My children's father is a board certified behavior analyst, which means he trains children's behavior for a living. So we're definitely against bribing in our household, but for photo shoots, I always tell my moms, yes, please do bribe your children. Tell the mom to tell her kids that if they're good listeners during the photo shoot, that she'll take them to get ice cream or maybe go see a movie afterwards. But I don't depend on Mom for this. I bring my own toy basket, and this is so important. So right now during the pandemic, I have 3 toy baskets that I kind of rotate in and out because little hands are constantly going through these baskets. And these baskets are one of the smartest things I do to get children into the poses I want. So before we even start the photo shoot, I bring the basket out and I give them a little sneak peek, and I tell them if they're good listeners during the photo shoot, they can pick out any toy they want. And they're like, any toy? Because it feels like Christmas to them. They get so excited and they want to keep looking, so I have to physically take the basket away, and then it's really helpful. So for example, here the little boy is definitely not, it's towards the end of the shoot and he's not interested in taking any more photos, and I tell him if he goes and snuggles with his mom for 10 seconds, then we can run and go get a toy. And he does it, and look at this beautiful, meaningful photo that I was able to get when I wouldn't have otherwise been able to take any more photos at the end of this shoot because the kids were done. But I was able to squeeze out a few more because they were still working for that incentive. Or here you see with the sweet twin, he doesn't want to let go of baby bear, and so I tell him, and so I remind him, I say, for the toy, throw throw me baby bear and then you'll get the toy at the end. And so he does give me baby bear and I'm able to get this photo. And what is hilarious is the difference between their energy at the beginning of the shoot and the end when they're looking at the baskets. In the beginning, they're just more tentative, they don't know me as well, and at the end, they're super into it, super involved. So much so I have to make them pick out their toy and I have to take the basket away and leave. So how to fill a toy basket. You might be tempted to go to some place like the dollar store to fill it up really quickly, but you don't want to do that. You want your toy basket to reflect your brand. So my target audience happens to be the same exact target audience as Target stores. So people that shop at Target are usually moms that like fresh, modern, clean, joyful things, right? And I feel like that's what my photography brand speaks to. So I go to the dollar section at Target when you first walk in. I avoid the things that cost $1 because my mom clients are definitely looking in that section too when they go to Target. So I want to get the $3 to $5 things to give the children a toy that's a little bit more high quality. You don't want to give them something that they're just going to throw away. You don't want to give them something that they're just going to play with on the car ride home and then it's going to get lost. You want to give them something that's going to last for several weeks and keep that photo shoot fresh in mom's mind so that when she sees her children playing with their toys, she gets like a warm fuzzy feeling and thinks, oh, my photographer really cares about my kids. And in fact, I do. So most of my clients spend over $1,000, not my mini session clients. For all my clients that spend over $1,000, I give them these adorable wooden cameras. They're handmade, they're super cute, they're natural but modern, and children love these. It's such a special gift, and it's not a gift that's just gonna last 2 weeks. It's a gift that's probably gonna last for years. In fact, a lot of children even draw the camera settings on the back here because during the photo shoot, I often show them the back of the camera to kind of get them excited and involved in the process. They love this. They play with this for a very long time and it becomes a very precious gift. And so every time mom or dad looks at this, they have a happy memory of that photo shoot and they're like, yeah, Stacey really cares about my kids. Like, she was so thoughtful. It's not that big of a deal. They're under $15. I sell them on my site actually. I'll put the description down below. And it's such a small amount to pay for such a cool little gift. Posing tip number 2. Be silly. I can't stress this enough. To make it big as a family photographer, you have to go all out and let yourself go and be able to laugh at yourself and be as silly and goofy as humanly possible because children love seeing adults be silly and that's how you're going to get the authentic smiles like these. And seriously, all kids need at this age to like you is for you to just let go and act goofy. Sing songs, do little dances, put stuffed animals on your head, whatever you have to do. You could even do a tic-tac dance for older kids. That has definitely gotten me a laugh. My TikTok dances have gotten me so many laughs and authentic photos in the past because I am so awesome at TikTok dances. So I would rather look ridiculous to mom and dad and get really meaningful photos like this than try to compose myself and look elegant and have my photos fall flat. Because really, as a family photographer, you have to go to any length to get genuine expressions out of these children because the parents are going to only buy photos that really show who their children are at this moment in time. So it's super worth it. So with boys around the age 6 to 11, they tend to make these really goofy, awkward faces every time you pull out the camera, or they'll run away, or they'll pick their nose, or they'll do something ridiculous. You really have to pull out the big guns. And what are the big guns? It's making sounds like this. Making farting sounds and burping sounds, pretending to pick your nose. And if that's still not working, use mom and dad. Mom and dad are such a great tool. Get them to come up behind you and play peekaboo, or dad can pretend to pick his nose and wipe it on you. I'm serious, it's so gross, but it's so worth it, you guys. And you might think, oh, Stacey Potter, she's this big photographer who's been around for a really long time, and I've shot, probably thousands of families at this point. And so she can look ridiculous if she wants, but I'm a beginning photographer and I can't. But no. From the very start of your family photography business, you have to just be goofy. You just have to be known as the photographer that's goofy and wonderful with children. Posing tip number 3, do the children's pose idea first. So children are brilliant. They come up with these cute ideas sometimes that really work, and sometimes they don't. But it's okay because we live in the digital age and we can throw away the photos that we don't want. So I always appease the child. If there's a pose that they want to do, for example, with this twin, he just really wanted baby bear in every pose. So I made sure to get baby bear in every pose. For a few photos, and then I would take baby bear, put it on my camera, put him on my head. Look at how their faces light up when I take baby bear and put him on my camera. That's how I'm able to get photos like this. And I do tell parents to bring a lovey or a stuffed animal or a blanket just for this reason. It not only makes the child feel safe and comfortable and secure, and it's such a sweet memory for parents, so they're definitely going to buy those photos at the end. So make sure that you do include a few of the lovey pictures in the final gallery. Because again, these are meaningful photos, and meaningful photos sell. So using their pose gets children involved creatively in the photo shoot, and they feel like they're contributing and they're being useful, and children love to be useful. But sometimes loveys can be too much of a crutch. Like right here, the little boy is not wanting to let go of baby bear, so I tell dad to quickly just take baby bear and hide him. And he was able to do that, and we were able to get this beautiful shot. Posing tip number 4. Be direct, and when that doesn't work, mimic. Children are smart. You can usually just tell them what to do and they'll do it, especially if you remind them of that treat basket. So for example, here I'm telling the little girl to fix her dress, and then I actually show her, and that's something that you'll have to do over and over again with little girls in sundresses, because those pictures cannot be saved. If their knees are not positioned in the correct pose, then those are throwaway photos. So it's something really important to look out for. And then again, I get the boys hugging her by simply mimicking, and I'm always matching their energy. So when they laugh, I laugh with the same amount of enthusiasm. And here again, I'm shouting out at the boys to be kings of the mountains and asking them to do a muscle pose. And the first twin isn't really getting it. So I ask mom to come up behind me and she shows him, and then all of a sudden he gets it. And it's as easy as that. Or here when I'm shooting the little girl all by herself, I actually twirl my dress to show her how to twirl her dress, or I put my hands to my face to show her what to do, and she gets it. She's 4, but she gets it. And mimicking works best for mom and dad too, because you want to save time a lot. Just jump into the pose that you want them to do, like I'm doing here, and then jump back into the photographer role, and they'll get it really quick. It's a good time saver. Posing tip number 5. Capture the candid moments. It's not always about posing the family. Being a family photographer is sometimes about stepping back and being watchful and seeing the connections that are happening all around you. For example, here I am shooting one of the twins, and then off to the side, mom and daughter are having some kind of connection, and I quickly snap one photo, and then I go back to shooting the twin, and this is what I got. So beautiful and so worth that 1 second of noticing. And allow the session to flow. So you see dad here is playing with one child, and then the other children want to get involved, and then this becomes, in just 1 minute, a natural pose that dad and the children created themselves that created these photos, which is so awesome. I just followed their lead with what they were doing. I watched their natural connection, and I captured that. As a family photographer, that is such a big part of your job, so please don't overlook that. Always have your eyes open for those candid moments that aren't actually poses, but in the end are your best photos. So if you employ these 5 posing tips with children, your photo session is going to go so much more smoothly, and you're going to get real smiles, real authentic expressions, real connections between the family members, and your bottom line is going to go way, way up. If you got value out of that, please comment below, or if you have any questions or anything. But now I'm going to give you that one family pose that I was talking about earlier. So basically what I do is I tell mom and dad to stand together as if I was just going to shoot them for, like, say, an engagement shoot. So just them, no children. And I show them how to pose, tell them just, to love on each other, hug each other. And I tell them it's not going to be about them, it's going to be about the family photo. And then I bring the children over to me and I whisper to them, okay, mom and dad don't know this, but I'm going to set you up on either side of them. And then on the count of 3, you're going to run up to them and you're going to smack their tush, or you're going to give them a big hug around the waist. It just depends on the child that you're dealing with. Like, if the child's full of energy, like way too much energy, you don't want to ask them to hit their parents' tush because they're going to take it way too far. In that case, you'd want them just to hug. But these children had the perfect amount of energy, so I asked them to hit their parents' tush. The parents were like, ooh! And then I tell the parents that right after they smack them on the tush to bring the children in to a group hug, and then I get all these beautiful photos. Next, I tell the children to run circles around the parents and click away. You get such cute photos here too. And then I have them sit down at their parents' feet. So just having the parents stand there for this one pose, you can get all these family photos. So I hope you practice that pose on your next family photo shoot. And if you do, please tag me in your images, Sweet Bright Being, and I will include you in my next video compilation of subscribers' photos. Thank you so much. I hope you guys got value out of that. If you did, please hit the subscribe button below and watch the next video. I hear my baby crying, so I have to run. Thank you. Bye. I just finished. I know it's hard when mom is a YouTuber.